If you've been injured in a car accident, even if it wasn't your fault, you still have to deal with the consequences, like overdue medical bills, car repairs, and worse, insurance companies that try their hardest not to pay their fair share. No need to worry, though. The advocates are here to help.
The advocates are absolutely here to help. Get online. You can chat with them online right now at utahadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, where you don't pay any consultation fees, you don't pay any retainers, you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case at utahadvocates.com. Jake, the Knicks are in town tonight. Is this what cures the ails of the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, I think that the Jazz are going to do well against this team. I think that, you're rested. The Knicks are obviously right out of the gate not a great team. But I think, I would really expect the Jazz to get back to what had brought them success, before this 2-game losing streak, which would be moving the ball, moving the ball through that process of moving the ball, getting the defense to move side to side, left to right, because when you do that, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for you. And I think that I would expect this team to stay committed to the system throughout the game. That's tonight what I'd be looking for if I'm a Utah Jazz fan. I want to see them consistently moving the ball and being committed to that. I'm not saying there needs to be an edict on this team that, hey, like everyone's got to touch the ball or we got to burn 10 seconds every possession before we try to score or anything like that. What I think the edict needs to be is, hey, we got to stay committed to getting into our offense early and then not being scared to continue to make that extra pass until we get that quality look, because that is what I think really the issue was. Like, if you go back and watch the games on YouTube and you look at the tape and you see what they did, the willingness to make that extra pass and to keep probing the defense, keep searching, and
probing
keep
the
hunting.
defense.
Like you need to do that against these teams in certain possessions.
Isn't probing the same word as throbbing? I would agree with that. I think you need to probe the defense. I think one of the other questions that's going to start coming up more and more is the lineup and what tweaks does Will Hardy need to make with this lineup. And one of the more interesting ones in my mind, especially against a team that's going to be without Mitchell Robinson tonight, is do you start Walker Kessler at center? I think it's an interesting conversation. I think Walker's earned more minutes. I think we're seeing that consistently he's on the floor because he's a more mature guy. But I think he has absolutely earned the right to get a start. And I think his defense alone gives you that. Whatever you get from a guy like Walker Kessler offensively, I think is a gift. I think Kelly Olynk off the bench is your big. I don't think there's any problem with that. I think he gives you some poise, if you will, off the bench. So I can see it both ways. But, Jake, I think there's a lot of merit in starting Walker Kessler.
Yeah, and I think that with where you're at as an organization, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, you're in that phase where you want to develop guys like Walker Kessler. You want to see, just how far you can take it with them, because I do love Walker Kessler's defensive tenacity. He may not be, this elite defender yet, but the effort is there. And I think that is what has defined this team so far, is effort. So if the effort is going to continue to be there, which there's no reason to believe it wouldn't be, then yeah, I think Walker Kessler should get an opportunity to start at some point. I don't know if that's tonight. I don't know if that's 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Right.
At some point, though, you got to throw him in there and see what he can do as a starter. So to me, I think if you start him, you're going to get a guy who obviously is just going to run the floor really well. I think he's a guy that could really use the defensive reps in ISO situations.
Well, that's for sure.
Again, I think expecting... if you're someone who's sitting there saying, hey, he struggled against Joel. Okay, well, everyone struggles against Joel.
Correct.
Right? But I'd love to see him against Julius. I'd love to see him against, that hybrid 3-4 guy. What can you do for me in those situations, right? Because there's going to be a lot of times where he's going to get put into those matchups. And so as a defense, you have to see, how does your team react? That's where this team is at. Those are the things they're exploring right now.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the more interesting conversations is, how do you balance development of your youth versus, hey, let's keep winning games? Because I don't think there's any doubt that the Jazz want to win as many games as they can. And I think this is where sending Agbaji to the G League, to the Stars, I think is absolutely the right move. It's what we talked about with Jared Butler last year and the hesitancy to play him at the NBA level. Okay, well then Send him down. Send Azubuike down. And I understand that you have to have minimums. I totally understand that. You have to do, though, what is best for this roster in the next 3 years, because that's the time frame you're working in. You're not playing for a championship this year. All these wins are cool, but we're looking at next year and the year after that and making sure that Walker Kessler is a guy that grows and develops into a contributor, and making sure that a guy like Agbaji, or making sure that, a guy like Colin Sexton, is getting the minutes he needs the right way. So, hey, he does grow that knee and grow that confidence and continue to be a contributor. Because when you wind up inevitably making moves, and you ship out a guy like a Malik Beasley, you have to have somebody ready to slide into that spot.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this roster evolves as the season goes on. But I don't think there's any doubt that Walker Kessler is a guy that it's not if. When does he begin getting starts?
Facts.
Because I think he's shown you enough that you want to see more.
Come on, let's go, Schlep Rock.
From Walker. I think you absolutely want to see more from Walker Kessler.
Yeah,
no doubt about
100%.
it.
And I think that, I think that what's really interesting is you watch what Lauri is able to do at 7 feet tall, right? You watch his ability to shoot the basketball, his ability to get to the basket, his ability to defend.
Yep.
Walker Kessler's never going to be that athletic, but I think if you can get small spurts of, an elbow jumper, that'd be great. I'd love to see dude take 5 or 6 of those a game, even if he misses them. I think that's the kind of, when we talk about finding that balance of developing guys, but also winning games, find a couple of possessions where you're intentionally trying to get Walker Kessler an elbow jumper, or maybe if you view him more as a block player, get him that hook shot, get him that opportunity. That's what I think you have to do. I think Walker Kessler's ceiling is extremely high because he can really run the floor. He's not one of those big plotting guys. He's much more of a athletic for his size, moves really well guy. So if you can get him running and get him just more reps, I don't know why that would be a bad thing.
Well, and I also think you have to look at when you talk about the Jazz. By the way, Jazz and Knicks tonight, 7 o'clock. The Jazz are a 4-point favorite in that game. The number's 230. So the boys in Vegas expect a pretty high-scoring game. But I think one of the real questions on this roster is, what is your best big rotation? And because I don't think there's any doubt that your 4 is Vando. There's just no doubt about that. And I think one of the questions you have to ask is, can you play Rudy Gay and Jared Vanderbilt together? Yes, you can. Can you play Walker Kessler and Kelly Olynk together? You probably can if Olynk is on the outside, right? It's not as smooth, though. Can you play Vando and Gay together? You can't. Can you play Vando and Kessler together?
That's the one you want.
Well, I don't know if you can play those guys together. I don't. I don't think that Jared Vanderbilt shoots the 3 well enough to have Walker be a pure 5 and have Vando be a pure 4. I don't think that right now that Vando shoots the ball well enough to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that may be true. But I also think the positive side of that is the length you have on the floor. If you're playing a team that's rolling out a bunch of bigs or a bunch of size, look at Brooklyn. Kevin Durant, Nick Claxton on the floor together, along with Ben Simmons. That's a lot of length on the floor that you're trying to defend. And so when I look at that, yeah, you're right. Vanderbilt doesn't shoot the 3 at a really high rate, and neither does Kessler for obvious reasons. But when I look at defensively, if you can have a lot of rebounding and you can outlet to JC, Conley, and Beasley, that's a really interesting lineup to me. Those 3 together probably isn't ideal, but I think you're to your point, you're looking for combinations here. So if I know that defensively I'm going to be fine, and then I can create some looks for Beasley out of the corner, then maybe that's a unit I can run out there for 5 minutes, But
look at the Knicks tonight. Toppin, Hartenstein, and Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
Though that's their front court. I mean, obviously without Mitchell Robinson playing, I mean, that's their front court. So the question is, what is your front court rotation if you're the Jazz tonight? I would love to see Vando and Kessler play together, but I don't know how you do that. Is Toppin a guy that you want Walker Kessler exposed to?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
That's an interesting matchup.
I think what you want to do is you want to challenge Walker Kessler a little bit defensively. You want to see, okay, I know that you're more than willing to bang with a guy. I know that you're more than willing to go up and try to block a shot. He's done that repeatedly this season. But what can you do against it? Because Obi Toppin's strength is running the floor and getting out in transition.
And Obi Toppin's strength is he can shoot the 3 a little bit, and he loves that corner 3 into a dunk.
Yeah.
So can you guard Toppin on the perimeter? Let's find out. Like I love Jared Vanderbilt and Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I have that, like, Hartenstein's an interesting guy. Kelly Olynyk can handle Hartenstein. That, I think the Vando matchup on a nightly basis is one of the more interesting storylines on this team.
Yes.
Because I actually think that it goes a long way. When you look at Jared Vanderbilt's skill set, it goes a long way to setting the tone for a game. Because I think Jared Vanderbilt, when it's all said and done, he's going to be a guy who can lock down a power forward. He's not there yet. He's not that guy yet. His top end will be that. And I think guys like Julius Randle, he has that skill set of a prototypical power forward now. You have to, at the 4 spot, you have to be able to shoot the 3. There's just no question about that. Yeah. Julius can do that. Play with his back to the basket, rebounds, runs the floor. Like, these are matchups. It's as maligned as Julius Randle has been. I think he's having a better year for the Knicks, and I think this is one of those matchups where you can look at Vando and see, hey, what is this guy really capable of?
Facts.
Because Julius Randle, for anything you want to say about him, he is not an easy matchup, right? Has he been down for the Knicks? He's been at the bottom for the Knicks at times. But Julius Randle is a guy that can play, and so it'll be interesting to see how those matchups work. But again, I mean, for current day incarnation of this team, I want to see Mike Conley come out and be refreshed tonight. I want to see Mike look really good. I want to see Jordan Clarkson be much more of a team player, because it really bothers me. I'm kind of stuck on that Philly game a little bit. What bothers me so much about the Philly game is that I feel like you had a chance to win that game on multiple trips late, and you just didn't make the play that had to be made.
Yeah.
There's no way that Colin Sexton should be getting his shot blocked at the rim by Joel Embiid there. You got to kick that ball out. You have to. There's a guy wide open in the corner.
Yeah.
So I want to see this Jazz team tonight get back to what's been good about this Jazz team. I want to see him move the ball. I want to see him shoot 43s at a minimum.
Yeah.
I want to see him with 30 assists at a minimum. Like, I want to see those numbers let's pump those numbers up, right?
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You've got to have more assists. You've got to have more three-point attempts. And I don't care if you go 2 for 55. I don't care. I'd rather have you shoot an enormous amount of threes than get blocked at the rim.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
This is not an interior team necessarily. This Jazz team is an opportunistic team.
Yeah.
Where you move the ball around the perimeter, look for a 3, and hey, when a guy gets over aggressive, then we're going to drive and either finish or kick.
And he will every single time.
I didn't see that in Washington or Philly.
Yeah, well, you went away from it. That's the facts of the case. Like, you Sexton, I would argue Conley, Clarkson, like, the guards just went away from the system, and that's why you get blocked. That's what happens.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get some of your comments in here on the Utah Jazz. Oh boy,
Bots.
we got some of the bots in the now. To their credit, it is nice that we are seeing. By the way, I don't know how many people have noticed this. In the last week to 10 days, we have seen that YouTube has been far more aggressive in hiding bots.
Nice.
And it's something I like to see. I'm actually stoked about it.
By the way, got to get to 9,000 subs by the end of the year.
Yeah. Oh my God. How have we forgotten about this?
Yeah.
How have we?
Let's go.
I'm a terrible person.
And we got to talk about where we're going to be Saturday.
Big update. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. We are going to be at Super Chicks in Ogden this Saturday. So we talk a lot of food on this show. I think you guys know that.
Yeah.
And I also think you know that we're huge fans of Super Chicks. We talk about the fact that their ranch dressing is
Incredible.
unbelievably addictive. I'm a huge fan of the deluxe salt fries, their ranch dressing on everything.
The Bacavo chicken sandwich,
Stop.
bruh.
Nobody likes the Bacavo.
Dude, it's bacon and ranch and avocado.
Listen, Jake, if you are not going to get the deluxe, I don't know where your life is. The only thing that is on that menu, the only thing that's better than the deluxe is the strips. And listen.
Yeah, big strips guy, huh?
I'm a huge strips guy. I am a huge chicken finger guy, right?
See, I'm a guy of simple taste.
And I have to tell you, you know this as well. We have been to the other chicken joints,
Yeah,
and we have
we're
told
not
you.
going to name them. I mean, come on.
Super Chicks is where it's at.
come on.
We've
Are we
told
clear
you
on
that.
that?
We're going to be at their grand opening this Saturday in Ogden.
Yes.
You come out, and you're going to get free food.
Yes.
Come and see us, because we're also going to register you to go to the Jazz game with us against Cleveland. If you come to the Super Chicks in Ogden, we're going to have an enter to win box, and you are going to be able to enter to win a pair of tickets. You and plus one will meet us at the Maverick Center. We'll get in a black car.
Yeah, right.
We'll get in a black car.
Yep.
Relax.
Sorry.
We'll get in a black car. We'll cruise over to Vivint Smart Home Arena, which is now just Vivint Arena. We're going to buy you a custom Jazz jersey, and we're going to watch Donnie and the Cavs take on the Utah Jazz.
Donnie.
We're going to give you tickets plus one. We're going to buy you a jersey, and all you have to do is come to Super Chicks this Saturday.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing.
Now, okay, here's the address, because we have gotten messages before. Well, what's the address, bro? You didn't say the address. Here's the exact address. Write it down. Like, do what you need to do, okay? It is 1140 West Riverdale Road in Riverdale. Okay, I even got the zip code for you. 84405. Be there or be square on Saturday.
We're working on the details.
Folks, that's what it is.
We're working on the details, but we are going to do a 2-hour show live on Saturday to get you ready for the Utes and the Oregon Ducks.
Yes.
And we're going to do a football show. You guys need to come out. You need to get your free Super Chicks.
Let's go.
Trust me when I tell you the ranch is amazing. And by the way, we never have even mentioned their Oreo shake.
Bomb. Wait, Oreo shake. Hold on. Whoa. Peanut butter cup shake is superior.
See, you do things like this, and it makes me question who you are as a man.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
What do you mean?
It just stop.
Dude, peanut butter cups.
No. No.
Come on.
No.
You're a casual.
No, I'm not a casual.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You're being a casual right now.
Okay. It's fine.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
It's fine. Super Chicks in Ogden on Riverdale Road on Saturday. We will continue to give you details this week, but again, we really want to get back to you guys. So we decided yesterday that when we get to 9,000 subs, if we do that by January 1st, we are going to take you plus one to the Jazz Cavs game and buy you a custom jersey. We're going to do that.
Yep.
You're going to have a jersey of your choice. We'll walk into the team store. We'll buy it for you.
You can't buy yellow, but any other jersey, right?
Anyway, you can have a jersey of your choice as long as it's not the white one. You can have a jersey of your choice
right now.
Thank you, Raptor88. Thank you. He says
on.
Oreo all day long.
Wow, Dad. Wow.
Come on. Well, Keith Carl makes an interesting point. Peanut butter Oreo shake. Okay.
I mean,
Giggity says, how does Mr. Chicken Burrito expect us to take his food advice seriously?
Dude, Giggity, come on, bro.
See, that's what I'm
How
saying.
do you take this guy serious? You really believe that all I eat is chicken burritos?
Yes.
Are you kidding me right now?
Hey, by the way, we're at Mastro's Ocean Club, right? We
Don't
are at
even
Mastro's
start,
Ocean Club.
dude.
I'm like, okay, hey, you know what? Give me the strip medium. Give me 4, grilled shrimp on top. A little bit of garlic butter on those shrimp. That'd be great, right?
Right.
Jake, what do you want? Hey, man, do you guys do chicken burritos?
I didn't say chicken burrito. I said steak burrito. Big difference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Big difference.
Do you guys do chicken burritos? And then to top it off, they're like, no, sir, we don't. But we do strip steak. He's like, okay, I'll have what he's having. Hey, man, can I have some ranch on the side?
This is fucking America.
It is America. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. I made that up right off the top of my head.
Yeah, I had a strip medium too.
But you are a chicken burrito guy. If we go to
admit, like, all jokes aside, I've gone away from chicken burritos. I'm a breakfast burrito connoisseur. Like,
I would agree with that. You have stepped up your breakfast burrito game. I would agree with that.
I can't tell you, honest to God, I can't tell you the last time I actually had a chicken burrito. I've had breakfast burritos, 100%. Like, I'm about it. I'll own it.
Oh, God. Here we go. Now, I'm just going to skip that comment. Tanner says...
Teddy Wayman is the best.
Teddy Wayman, Mr. Beard Guy, says peanut butter cup for the win. Tanner says, if it's in the morning, I would totally go. But if it's in the afternoon, sadly, there's no way I can go. I have to work in the afternoon. Tanner, you have an excuse for every remote we've done. You're like, hey, man, I can't do it. It's a vernal equinox. Oh, you guys are going to be there next.
The fucking vernal equinox.
You guys are going to be there next Saturday? Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, wait, no, I got to wash my hair, bro. I can't, the Pantene. I got a fresh shipment of Pantene. So, I can't do it. And,
I don't know. I think what did we say? I mean, we haven't worked out an exact time. It's not going to be afternoon. It's going to be, I think we were thinking
I think
like
we're thinking
midday.
10 to noon.
Yeah, I think we're thinking 10 to
we
noon.
were thinking
yeah.
10 to noon.
I mean, we have to confirm, right? Like that's not, in concrete yet, but I think 10 to noon is probably what it's going to be.
Let's see. Tanner says, sorry, Jake, I'm going to go with the Oreo shake, but he's like, I'm confused. What's your problem with chicken burritos? Nothing. Chicken burritos are amazing. Except when you go to Burger King and you're like, hey, bro, you guys got chicken burritos here?
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
We're at Arby's. Hey, bro, do you guys have chicken burritos? No, we don't. Hey, are you sure? Can you check the kids menu?
I mean, you said you had the meats. You don't have chicken?
What do you mean you don't have chicken? You want to know
Is that
where
a real question?
chicken burritos and stuff? Like he'll go to JCW's and be like, "Hey, bro, can you throw me together a chicken burrito?" No matter where we go, if we go to Taco Surf, the best Mexican fast casual in the world,
But this is
Taco.
different.
Stop
That's
talking.
different.
Stop.
You know.
If we go to Taco. If we go to
Taco
Taco
Surf is
Surf
different, dude. Come
in
on.
SoCal, and they have 1,000 things on their menu, he'll be like, "Oh, hey, bro, can I get a chicken burrito?"
No,
if we
it's
go
called
to
a pipeline.
Oh, excuse me. What kind of meat you want in that? Chicken. Hey, if we go to Red Iguana, best Mexican restaurant in the country, in my opinion.
Seriously.
We go to Red Iguana. Hey, bro, can I get a chicken burrito?
No, okay, be honest. I usually get tacos Don Ramon.
That's a lie. Hey, bro, can I get a chicken burritos, tacos, Don Ramon? Let's do it Don Ramon style in that chicken burrito. Hey,
so who's coming to Super Chick Saturday?
Do you want chips and salsa? Yeah, on a chicken burrito, please.
You guys ever want kick it, we'll flow.
Set the chicken burrito on top of the chips and salsa,
right,
bro.
right.
Don Ramon style.
Right, Don Ramon.
Yeah, so by the way, we're going to be at Super Chicks in Ogden,
Yeah.
Riverdale Road in Ogden for their grand opening Saturday. They're going to give away, I think the first 100 people through the door get free food.
Yeah, they get free food. Yep.
Trust me when I say the Bravocado is actually not bad. I joke.
Yeah.
I get the same thing every time I go to Super Chicks just because I'm that creature of habit. When they have their chicken parm sandwich, which they need to bring back.
Yeah.
When they have the chicken parm sandwich, there's no other choice.
Okay, see, now you have people in the comments section like Tanner asking if I really go to Burger King and get a chicken burrito.
You do.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
Dude.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You do
dude,
too.
I get a double cheeseburger and fries. It's Burger King.
El Coyote is the best Mexican restaurant, in my opinion. Well, Donnie, please.
Yeah.
Hey, have you been to Red Iguana?
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Jake, is that true? You go to Burger King
Come
and you
on,
ask
dude.
for a chicken burrito?
There are limits here. I don't actually do that. Come on.
Carlin Lefevre says, Nashville Hot Sando is where it's at.
Are people Myron?
I mean, it could be.
But
It
seriously,
could be.
come out to Super Chick Saturday, man. Like, we need you guys to come out, get entered to win these tickets.
Jeff Johnson says, I ain't driving from Spanish Fork to Ogden, but I love you guys anyway.
Geoff, come on.
Yeah, seriously. Nye Guy says, breakfast burritos at Even Stevens is fire.
Okay.
Even Stevens is good. I would agree with that. Let's see. The Pantene lady was hot, San Diego State Aztec says. See, I agree with that.
I want it.
The Pantene lady's hot,
Yeah.
you know. Dustin Mercer says, Monty vibing to football at 50 music is the best part. Well, you know, it is what I do. Okay. You're welcome. Baja Cantina in Park City. Get the
That's
Claim
actually
Jumper
really good.
burrito. Baja
Yeah,
Cantina
very
is
good, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I could take the front runner from Orem to Ogden, and then one of you guys could pick me up from the front runner station and then take me back when I have to leave. What am I, your chauffeur? And by the way, he's actually going to want free food too. Stop. He says, yes, I'm a freeloader. Exactly. Geoff says, please stop. Jeff, come on, man.
Please stop what?
Stop what?
Yeah, what are you referencing?
I think he's referencing the Spanish Fork to Ogden journey.
Oh.
Get a helicopter, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Monty Copter 9.
Yes. So in all seriousness, we will be at Super Chicks in Ogden, Riverdale Road, Saturday. I believe it's going to be 10 to noon, but we're going to have to figure that out. We're doing a 2-hour football show for their grand opening. And my friends, and I think we have really produced on this show. We tell you about Super Chicks all the time.
Yeah.
I tell you about their ranch dressing all the time. I tell you about their deluxe chicken sandwich all the time.
And by the way, do we not say all the time we only partner with local entrepreneurs, right?
And that's exactly what this is.
Taylor and the guys at this Super Chicks, they'll be opening more Super Chicks, and they are local. I don't know. I think he's in Ogden, like as far as where he lives. Like he's a northern guy. So if you're a northern listener,
For everybody who always says we never do remotes
like
north
everyone always
of
says,
Provo,
you guys never do remotes north of Provo.
why don't you come to Davis? Okay.
Hey, Claw.
We're going to Ogden. Let's do this thing. Saturday, we'll have exact details for you on the show the next couple of days. But I believe we're going to be 10 to noon on Saturday. We'll get you ready for Utah and Oregon. Of course, BYU and Utah-Dixie State Tech. We will have you set up for them as well. But just a huge weekend of football. Come hang out with us. Get your free Super Chicks. Be one of the first 100 people through the door. And we'll have an Enter to Win box where you can win a pair of tickets to go to the Jazz game with us January 10th against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Donnie will include you plus one and a jersey for you when we get to the arena. So it is all good in the hood at Super Chicks Saturday in Ogden on Riverdale Road. Couple more comments before we get back. Let's see. BB says Red Iguana at Temple. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's Red Iguana 1
Bomb.
is where it's at.
Bomb.
I mean, that's where it's at. The Nye Guy says the music is what Kyler listens to while playing Call of Duty. Let's see. Travis Bird says, I can't come Saturday. I'm hosting a thong-winning hottie party. I'll take a rain check. Okay. Jeff says, please stop Monty dancing.
So he doesn't like your dancing.
It's the only move I got, man. I could do some like wave action too, but it's fine. Hey, man, I am just here for the people. I am just here for the people. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of here for the people, let's ask you a very serious question.
Yeah.
At 7:30 on the Monty Show, what do you make of this Kyrie Irving situation? Because now Jaylen Brown is on the record talking about Kyrie Irving, and this is one of those things where, you know what? I don't know what to do with this Kyrie Irving thing. Honest to God, I don't. I think the punishment and what he has to do to, quote, work his way back is ridiculous. I think you're holding him to some unbelievable standard that's never been applied to anybody. Not only did you take his money, not only did you suspend him indefinitely, you've asked him to meet with a bunch of civic organizations. You've asked him to apologize multiple times. He's had to meet with the league, the owners, the players, the Anti-Defamation League, Jewish community leaders. He's had to pay a fine of $500,000 on top of the salary he's losing. Like, this is unprecedented level of suspension.
Yeah.
That's a totally different conversation, though, versus what's justified and what's not. Because I think in our society, bigotry has become far too easy to get away with. I think it's become far too commonplace. And like I look at this Dave Chappelle appearance on Saturday Night Live over the weekend. I watched it and thought it was a fantastic monologue. Now everybody's saying that he's a bigot and he's an anti-Semite. And the thing I don't understand is, when did we lose our ability to do two things? Have a serious conversation and laugh. When did we lose our ability to do that? Because you can't joke anymore and you can't have real, honest, open conversations about things that impact your life. We don't talk about things like, hey, where are we? What are we doing about the proliferation of bigotry in our society? What are we doing about mental health? And how are we going to bring it out of the shadows? Like, we can't talk about that stuff. Heavens to Betsy, we bring up politics, right? Can't talk about that either. Like, we're not allowed to talk about serious things, right? I don't agree with anything that Kyrie Irving said or did. The punishment that is being leveled against him is ridiculously over the top. Nobody else in society has been held to that standard. Nobody. Point to me somebody who's losing millions of dollars in a fine and then on top of that has to donate $500,000 more.
Oh, but he gets paid all this money.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. It doesn't, like, and everybody's like, well, it's a privilege to play in the NBA. Okay, totally agree with that. But show me the precedent for this kind of suspension, this kind of punishment.
Yeah.
Show me the precedent. Show me the precedent where he didn't get cut and his career was over. Where is it? Because you can't compare. The other thing you got to stop doing, stop comparing Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, to Kanye West, the entrepreneur who's lost $1 billion. Because I hear all these people saying, well, Kanye lost $1 billion. Well, he's also in a completely different existence than Kyrie is. Kyrie Irving should be punished for what he said. I agree with that. 5-game suspension. Okay, cool. We'll see you on that game, the 6th game. Now, all of a sudden, we've got to do all of this other stuff. It's just not normal. And I think what it's doing, in my opinion, is only exacerbating, making the problem worse and making the issue worse. And I listened to Jaylen Brown, who is a vice president at the Players Association. And I'm just going to play this without even explanation. Here is Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics talking about Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, his response was alarming to me. I tweeted it out yesterday. He didn't say that the organization was working together to get Kyrie back on the floor. He said that he had more work to do. And our society has more work to do, including Josiah. And it's 2022. It takes 10 minutes of time to see who, these business owners, corporations, et cetera, who they're associated with, who they're doing business with, and who they're affiliated with. And I'm vice president of the union, and it's part of my job to protect our players legally. And to see Phil Knight first come out and condemn, Kyrie, and also see Josiah say he has more work to do, I think it's time for a larger conversation. And Adam came out and said a statement that he doesn't believe Kyrie Irving is anti-Semitic. Yet he's still suspended indefinitely. So those are my thoughts.
Well, listen, first of all, Josiah has mismanaged this horrendously.
Yeah.
I mean, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets is Josiah. He has mismanaged this horrendously. Phil Knight, in my opinion, and I don't want to hear about, they make their shoes here. In this particular situation, Phil Knight did exactly what he had to do. I have no problem with what Nike did. You don't like the way a guy represents your brand in public? Cut that guy. That's exactly what Phil Knight did. That's the reality. Kyrie knew what he was doing when he did it.
And every athlete knows that.
And by the way, their relationship was incredibly flawed long before Kyrie Irving started talking about Alex Jones and books and movies on Amazon.
Yeah.
Right? He was on his way out at Nike. Phil Knight just put the cap on that, right? So I don't have a problem with Phil Knight in this situation. What I have a problem with is Jaylen Brown not recognizing and not speaking to what Kyrie Irving did there. Because this is the other side of the, hey, we went way too far in punishing Kyrie Irving. But the other side of that is, hey, we're going way too far in defending what Kyrie Irving's rights are. I can tell you now, you can be anti-Semitic, or you can play in the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, professional sports, or you can represent brands like Nike, or you can be an anti-Semite. You can't be both. You can't be both.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, you want to hate, on protected classes, LGBTQ, you want to hate on minorities, you want to, okay, great. That is absolutely your right. If you want to hold anti-Semitic rights or beliefs, that's your right. But that doesn't mean that people have to do business with you. That doesn't mean that you get to play in the NBA. That doesn't mean that people will pay you millions of dollars to wear their shoes. That's the truth of the conversation. If Kyrie Irving wants to be an anti-Semite, those are his rights. The same that I get to say, hey, I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't agree at all on any words that Kyrie or Kanye spoke. It's my right to say that. Just as it's theirs to say what they said. But they have no right to come back and say, hey, this is unjust that you're taking my money away. It's not unjust that they took your money away. I think it's way over the top that all the other stuff, but they suspended you because you're an anti-Semite. Your words have real consequences, which, by the way, is the other thing that nobody wants to talk about anymore, that your words have real consequences. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, is an anti-Semite. He's a bigot. I don't believe that he should be allowed to play in the NBA. I've said that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Those are my feelings, and I can have them because, well, we live in a free country.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving can feel whatever he wants. The middle on this is Kyrie Irving's a bigot and an anti-Semite. He should be suspended, and he should have his money taken from him, and understand that bigotry and anti-Semitism have no place in the NBA. That's what the punishment should be. If the Nets choose to employ him after that, that's totally up to them. If the NBA chooses to continue to allow him to be employed in their league, that's totally up to them. But you have to send a message. But that message can't be way over the top like it is. I want to play this other bite from Jaylen Brown because I think this matters about it. Here's Jaylen Brown and what his thoughts on what should be done about this.
I said this before. I think it's uncharted territory. I think it's no distinction between what somebody says versus what somebody posts. And I guess that's what they're trying to figure out. The terms that the Brooklyn Nets instituted for his return. I voice my discomfort. Some of our players, some people in the media, voice some of their discomfort with that. And, we've yet to hear, what is the latest with that situation. It's still an indefinite suspension. He's already missed 5 or 6 games. So, how many games is he going to continue to miss? Is it another situation going on there? Is it a larger situation going on there? Is another conversation that need to be had? We've yet to find out. So I'm staying tuned and I'm keeping my phone on and just see what is going to come of this situation.
Why can't you just stop it and say they're trying to figure it out? Because I think that's where the NBA is. I do agree with Jaylen Brown that this is uncharted water. Okay? It's not, however, uncharted water that people have posted stupid things on social media.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, again, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a bigot and you want to post that stuff on social media, that's your right. But it's the NBA's right to protect their brand and their livelihood.
Right.
So there is a middle and there is a middle ground there. And the thing he said that I totally agree, and I wish more people understood, what you tweet and post on social media, no matter where it is the same thing as you saying it out loud. It has consequences.
Yeah.
And I go back to this whole thing, the genesis of where all this starts, whether it's Chappelle, Kanye, I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
One, what would happen in society if a white person had said this? Because that was a question that was asked. Alex Jones has said these things. He's a pariah.
Yep.
So this is not a black guy versus a white guy thing. We have to stop making everything about race and black guy versus white guy. We do that far too much. Tackle the issue at its face. Kyrie Irving said anti-Semitic things, and he looked, sounded, and feels to me like a bigot. There is a punishment for that. The NBA doesn't have a policy in place for this stuff. Or at least they don't now, because you and I both know that's coming.
Right.
If somebody had said to Kyrie Irving 20 years ago, hey, bro, your words have consequences. If somebody had said to all of these people, go back to all the baseball, Josh Hader, the closer for the Padres, late of the Brewers.
Yeah.
If somebody had said to him, your tweets are your words and your words have consequences, would he have tweeted those terrible things?
Nope.
Maybe not. But we're unwilling to hold people accountable and say, hey, you can't say whatever you want to say. Well, that's America. Though that's very true. But your words have consequences, so you can't work here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't live here anymore. You can't represent my brand. You can't play in the NBA. You can't work at Nike, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. Because I'm telling you right now, if I had said the things that Kyrie or Kanye said, they would have told me, hey, you can't do your show here anymore.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't be listening to our show. And all of our sponsors would have said, yeah, we can't be associated with you guys anymore.
So go ahead and say whatever the hell you want to say.
But you better know that your words have consequences.
Yeah, and I don't know why it's so uncomfortable for people to accept that.
I don't get it.
I think that
I don't get it.
I think that the core issue for Kyrie is just that, right? Like, hey, I can say whatever I want, really, or I can tweet whatever I want. Like, that was the core issue with Kanye. I mean, Kanye flat out said that, right? Like, hey, I can say whatever I want, and Adidas can't drop me. Like, that's literally what Kanye said, and I feel like there was like this wave that people were trying to ride of just saying whatever the hell they wanted, and we're undefeated, and no one can do anything about it.
What's the conversation around social justice issues, Black Lives Matter, COVID, vaccines,
right?
This anti-Semitism thing with Kyrie and Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA has a real issue with this particular situation. Social justice is not convenience. And I think a lot of people don't understand this. Social justice, and the Black Lives Matter movement is probably the best example of this, but I think over the last 5 years, 6 years certainly, I think back before, our political landscape changed so much in 2016, I think the social justice warrior used to be a noble thing. And I think we flipped that on its ear because we tend to get so crazy in these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
If we could have had an open, honest discussion as a country about Black Lives Matter, we wouldn't probably be burning Portland down, for instance, right? Like, if we could have had real, honest, open conversations about the contents of a vaccine, how many people would have gotten the vaccine that didn't, and how many people would be alive versus being dead because of the pandemic? But we don't do that.
Well, and I think that type of thing, like a vaccine, like I think anything medical where you're like imposing on someone's body, if you will, that's where I think it gets really, really touchy for a lot of people. Because that's like where I feel like...
As it should be, though.
Yeah, as it should be. I'm not saying it's wrong for people to be sensitive about like what enters their body, but I think, unfortunately, this is where I don't want to call it a double standard, but a different standard comes in as a professional athlete, because you are a professional athlete, you are a star, a celebrity,
But how many people are built to deal with that?
To deal with what? Not taking a vaccine?
No. How many people are built to be stars, professional athletes?
Well, I don't think Kyrie Irving's built to be that. I just think he happens to be that.
But think about where a lot of, in our society, where the explosion of single parent homes. And again, this is not these young black kids from the city. I'm telling you now, there are so many white families that have single family home. Like, we have to stop that. My point is, single family homes now, where it's just mom and son, or just dad and son or daughter, dad and child.
Yeah.
In terms of the NBA, it's just mom or dad raising their son alone. You're probably not going to have much in your pocket. There are probably nights where you're going to be cold. There are probably nights where you're not going to have dinner going to bed. There's certainly people in this world who grow up without internet. They make it to the NBA, and then we hand them $10 million. How many people are prepared for that?
Well, it's like you go, like, and I'm not even trying to exaggerate, but literally, like, you think about the life you had before you got that direct deposit.
Yeah.
And now the life that you don't even, like, when that happens to you, I can't even imagine, like, how it feels, because I don't even think you know what to do with it, because, like, and it's the old saying, right? If you've never had money, you don't know what it's like to have money. And it's like, I feel like a lot of these guys don't understand the platform. Like, I could even make a case. Kevin Durant doesn't understand his platform. LeBron doesn't understand his platform.
But how many guys screw it up because they're not ready for the money?
Yeah.
They're not ready for the fame. They don't understand the influence. So they wind up giving that money away, or they wind up doing stupid stuff, or, like I just think we don't have an appreciation. And I'll even bring in this thing at Virginia, where this football player, former football player, murders 3 of his teammates and wounds 2 others. We don't know why yet. He's in custody, by the way. We don't know why yet. We don't know the hows yet. But you have to appreciate on some level the opportunity that you have, whether you're Kyrie, Kanye, Dave Chappelle, or the 3 kids who are dead at Virginia.
Do you think Kyrie Irving, and I'm honestly asking this, do you think Kyrie Irving thought about the consequences before he sent that tweet out?
No. And I don't think he thought about, I think that guys like Kyrie Irving, now, I put Kanye in a different box because I really do feel like Kanye West has issues that he is not dealing with. Based on what Kim Kardashian has said, his former wife, like based on what the people around him have said, he has mental disease that he is not dealing with. So I'm going to put Kanye to the side on this. I look at Kyrie Irving. I think, first of all, Kyrie's made so much money with, think about the movies, think about the old guy on the basketball court.
The Nike money.
The Nike money, the salary money, the championship money, the endorsement money. He's made money.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was bulletproof. And I think what he has not learned, and he did not learn this through the vaccine controversy, when you're not there, people don't care about you. When you are not playing, people don't care about you. When you are not you're not doing your show for 2 weeks, people don't care about you. When you don't show up for work, people don't care about you. And Kanye forgot that. And then he came back, and I think he thought he'd be a savior. And he didn't lose that brash attitude where he said, hey, I'll be back. See you in September, when he opted into his contract.
Kyrie. Yeah, you said Kanye.
Yeah, my bad. Kyrie,
yeah. And that's a great point. I forgot about that, yeah.
Kyrie was like, all right, see you, I'm back. See you in September.
Yeah.
For my $37 million. Like, you're a jerk, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have perspective on how fortunate you are that you're in an organization that allows you to observe your religious freedoms because he is a Muslim. So he observes Ramadan, which means he fasts from sunup to sundown. So he eats on the bench and looks, just weak for the period of Ramadan.
Well, and it affected his play. I mean, everyone agrees with that.
But the organization supported him. The organization supported him through this whole vaccine thing. The organization has supported him roundly and pays him $37 million a year. And then he gives it away on suspensions. He gives it away on fines. Like, it drives me crazy, man. Like, and it seems unique to the NBA. There's some guys in baseball, this Yasiel Puig story, the former Dodger, Cincinnati Red, pled guilty in an illegal gambling arraignment yesterday. Like, Yasiel Puig never had appreciation for who he was and where he had gotten to.
No, he was just looking to, make it big time.
But I think Kyrie Irving, who went to Duke, who has family, I think Kyrie Irving has been arrogant his entire adult life.
Yeah.
And I think this is where it comes back to get him.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I don't mean to be going. I don't mean to be going too far into it, but
yeah.
Big Dog O-Town says, so tweeting a movie is anti-Semitic now. Stop. We're not doing that. Stop. That's not what Kyrie Irving was doing.
I would expect better.
That is not what Kyrie Irving was doing. I'm like, unless I totally missed something, he actually said, I'm missing the point. Please tell me what actually came out of his mouth that was anti-Semitic. I'm not going to say what he said. You can go back and you can listen to the words he spoke.
Are you really unfamiliar with that movie?
I come on now. Come on. I think we're past that conversation.
Yeah.
The Night Guy says, I think like us, the NBA is puke sick of Irving. I think so. I think so. Oh, that's a really good point. Anthony Vincent says, if he hadn't doubled down on his pride originally, perhaps the term would have been more lenient.
Well, and that's what I think a lot of people are saying. Like, you look around, like, what people have said, and everyone roundly agrees. If dude would have just come to the middle a little bit and literally just said, at that presser, instead of fighting with Nick Friedel, if he'd have just said, hey, yeah, you know what? That was a mistake to tweet that, and even if you didn't believe it, right? Like, for the sake of your career and for the sake of hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I get, that's pennies to him, but still, like, that's still hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sake your career, the money, your family, and I know, like, your image as a person, it would have been smart to just say, hey, yeah, I made a mistake, and I'm really sorry about that. And I think the problem is when you skip that step, and you do fight with Friedel, and then you got to do another media scrum, even if you do apologize, it's not going to feel genuine. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Tom says, this is a precedent setter. Wish there was someone who could suspend Kanye indefinitely, too. I don't wish there was someone who could suspend Kanye indefinitely. Kanye suspended himself.
And I think with Kanye, we have to, like, we as a society, on some level, have to make better choices. Like, I have no problem saying, hey, I loved Kanye's music growing up. Loved it, dude. Kanye West and his impact on society at that time was truly incredible.
I go back to what everybody else was saying. The death of Kanye's mom is what broke him.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Football 50 in just a couple of minutes. Skinny Dick Nick says, Kylie Kyrie was trashing his own shoe line last year. Easy decision for Nike. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret.
Right.
I mean, they basically came out and said that well, I think they actually did officially say they weren't going to renew him.
They did.
Even before all this happened.
Yeah, so that's why I said Phil Knight terminated him without question.
Yeah.
Austie says, best sports talk show in Utah. If a white guy had said it, there would have been death threats. Yeah, probably. I'm glad to you guys are handling this Kyrie topic so fairly. That's what ESPN should have done over the last 5 years.
Yeah, but I think look, and we don't need to go down this rabbit hole super deep, but let's not lose sight of the fact that major TV network always has something they're trying to work towards. I love ESPN. We have ESPN on the tube right here that you can't see, right? Like we watch ESPN every day. But they are a major TV network, and
they're responsible, and they report to their bottom line.
Yeah, dude.
And so having been at ESPN, I can tell you that they are that's a very business-like operation, and they're damn good at what they do.
Yeah.
So I'm not the guy that's going to complain about that. Brent Burnett says Monty is going into it, and he means it.